Hi there, my name is Stefan, and welcome to the Ship of Fools, episode 1. Today I'm joined by
Danilo Book
and Brayden Ingram.
Alrighty, so let's get started off with how are both of you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. How about you?
I am pretty tired.
Dude, it's Friday. I'm hyped.
Friday, 5 p.m.
It's Friday at 12:59, and we're kind of far.
You know what? It's almost 5 p.m. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I get out at 2:30. What are you talking about?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Alright, if you say so. Probably. I'm not looking that up. I don't care where it's at. Anyways, let's get started off with the first topic today. We're going to start off talking about the China video game ban recently. For those of you who don't know, China recently is starting to try to implement a ban that after the hours of 9 p.m. and before 8, every day except on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and national holidays, that people under the age of 18 cannot play video games. They're tying it back to your social security number, or their version of a social security number, and Face ID so that they know it's you. What do you both think about that?
Well, I think it's a really scary thing that the country can just pretty much track you at any moment because, I mean, this is video games, but where do we draw the line? I mean, browsing, doing something, writing something that they don't want you to see?
What do you mean the government doesn't track you?
Touche. But, I mean, specifically in the context of China, I suppose there might be some sort of benefits.
I don't know, dude. It'd be pretty dangerous for me because I'm playing Minesweeper right now.
I mean, okay, hear me out.
He really is. He's not lying.
Hear me out. If the youth of the nation has less times to devote to video games, theoretically, they would have more time to do things that can better themselves mentally and physically, such as studying and participating in sports and going out and really catching their aspirations in a CCP sort of sense.
CCP, yeah. I didn't know what you were going with CCP for a second.
Chinese Communist Party.
I really didn't know what that was. Child Protective Services for a second.
That's CPS.
I'm sorry. I don't know why. I'm a little bit dyslexic. Anyways, the only thing I have to say that might be negative is the influctuation of people who depend on video games as their sort of like release or their meditative sense of sorts. So the people that are stressed, and this is their outlet, they're going to slowly be suppressed and have to find a different means of outlook.
Well, I mean, I suppose they could find a different outlet. You know, there are plenty of other things out there. They're not banning film watching, for example.
Yeah, you're right.
And speaking of film watching, I feel like you have some very strong thoughts on a recent Marvel property.
Oh, yes. Marvel What If series coming out soon, if not already out. Let me check the... It is out. It's already started?
You can watch now on Disney Plus.
Yes. If you don't have Disney Plus, I'm not making you get it. They're not giving us money. So anyways, though, it has a nice cast. It's got Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. No one else will replace, hopefully. Actually, the plot of this show is one of the main plots is that it's not actually played by Chadwick.
So, what do you mean by that?
Well, so it takes what's known as a different reality sort of sense, and it changes, like, the main storyline. So in one of the Iron Man movies, Iron Man is kidnapped.
Yeah.
In this, he isn't kidnapped. He's saved by a future version of the other man who was in the car with him at that time. I don't remember his name. And yeah, so it changes the route of, like, the little things. For another one, like, Loki is the ruler of Asgard.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly, he should have been all along.
And in the show, he's not the ruler of Asgard?
No, he is the ruler of Asgard.
In the show, he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's not like...
It's like,
Their
what
father.
if? What
Yeah.
if Loki
What
was the
if
ruler?
this-
Yeah, it's
happened.
what if this happened instead? And the only thing is, I think they canceled one of them because it was found to be too dark. It was
Too dark.
It was a Spider-Man episode. I believe it was
that would've been-
It was Spider Supreme, I believe.
That would have been awesome. Especially
Yeah.
considering as the animation style in the show reminds me a lot of Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
And just with that beautiful, stylized, just the movement and the action, and just seeing this what-if Dark Spider-Man story in that animation style, that would have been probably, honestly, the best episode of the show.
Yes, it really would have, because the plot of the episode is along the lines of Spider-Man basically giving up his own body for this older man to come back and take over him and allow him to crime fight instead and continue to live on. Yeah, but they're having a zombie episode.
A zombie episode.
Yeah. It's zombies.
It's zombies.
It's episode 5 recap. It is already out.
No spoilers. No spoilers for those of us who haven't watched it yet.
You mean both of us? And probably.
Yeah, I haven't seen it
I don't
either.
have Disney Plus. I'm broke.
We can't spoil it for the loyal viewers to the show.
Yes,
That
I'll
we
just go ahead and
have
close that
after
tab.
one episode already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is episode no. Like, there's the one viewer who we make watch this.
Hi, Mom. Anyways,
My dad, wait, he left years ago. Anyways,
Okay.
next off, sports. So we're going to talk about some sports that are often fun to play, but rather the most miserable, insufferable existence.
excruciating.
Something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
I actually have a very strongly worded opinion on the lovely American pastime of golf. And I know the Truman girls golf team just started their season, so of course no disrespect, but
Full disrespect.
watching golf and playing golf are two very, very different things. One is quite possibly one of the most enjoyable social and athletic experiences you can have in any given day, and the other is excruciating. I would actually rather watch grass grow or paint dry because it would have more emotional complexity than watching the sport of golf on ESPN
You know what?
will ever have.
If the golf ball from the golf season, if it could hit me in the head while I was watching it, I would probably view them because it would take me out of the endless suffering I know is watching golf.
Yeah, and you know what that reminds me of actually? That Geico commercial they had a while back where the Kraken was on the golf course. And
Yes!
The golf commentators in this commercial weren't even freaking out. They're just like, oh, there's a Kraken on the course.
It's cracking. And he's destroying the
He's
course.
absolutely destroying the course, eating the golfer alive, and they're still in their weird, semi-whispery tone. It makes me uncomfortable, right? It makes me uncomfortable, and then it offends me. And I'm like, well, why are you whispering? Can't you speak up? I mean, isn't there something more interesting? You chose to commentate this sport. Why are you being like this?
And honestly, that brings me to my next point of just the commentators being the most mundane people of all time. Why are sports commentators so bland?
I mean, no, not like now sports commentators. Because if you take a look back, sports
Joe
commentators used to be awesome, dude. Like Harry Carey for the Cubs in Chicago.
Mhm.
Like baseball fans out there, they will know what I'm talking about with Harry Carey.
You know, bringing it back to the TV shows I like in some form at the same time. Jim Brockmire.
Jim Brockmire,
Brockmire. I would love if we could have a real life Jim Brockmire.
man.
You-
You seen Ted Lasso?
No,
I have.
All right, Ted Lasso. Brayden, what do you think of Ted Lasso?
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
I
hilarious.
watch it
Jason
every time it comes
Sudeikis plays a Midwesterner who goes and becomes the head coach of a British soccer club, and it goes really about as well as you'd expect. Tons of comical hilarity in that show. I definitely recommend it to anybody who's watching.
out. For sure.
I thought his last name was Sudeikis.
Yo, he's actually from Kansas City.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually met him too.
Oh, you've actually met him?
Really?
Tell us,
Yeah.
tell us about when you met Jason
So,
Sudeikis.
I didn't know it was Sudeikis. And the Royals, they have a big event every year usually. It's called the Big Slugger or something. I forget. The name of it doesn't matter. But a bunch of celebrities that are in the area or from here will like come out. Usually the big dude off of Modern Family, whatever his name is, I can't think of it at this
Rob
moment.
Riggle?
Maybe.
I mean, he comes out here too, that much I know of.
Yeah, I probably. Rob Lowe, I think, was there for some reason.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
meet Rob Lowe.
Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, I think, was
Paul
there.
Rudd comes here,
But
yeah.
you know who I didn't realize it was Jason Sudeikis.
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 Sahakis?
So
We'll agree to disagree on this one.
I can't pronounce it. So I'll just call him G. I mean Jason. So Jason. So Jason. He was like walking around on the field afterwards, like on the sidelines, and my mom started like talking to him, but I didn't know who he was because I don't really care for the man that much. I mean,
How could you say that?
I haven't watched very much.
He's from Kansas City.
Because I was more infatuated with Charlie Day, who was 3 steps behind him.
Charlie Day was 3 steps behind him.
So I have Charlie Day's autograph,
Oh,
and
for
I've
real?
scared Charlie Day, and I've met Charlie.
How'd you scare?
So at the game, Charlie Day was like messing around, and he wasn't like paying attention, and I basically kind of snuck up and yelled his name like, "Hey, Charlie!" And he like
So you call celebrities by their first name?
Yeah.
I just could never do that. I just have too much respect. I'd always be like, Mr. Day, hello.
I said, hey, yo, Charlie! And he, like, got scared. And, well, I met him afterwards, and he seemed nice.
I've only ever met one celebrity.
Who have you met?
Pete Nelson. I don't know if you ever watched the show Treehouse Masters growing up.
Oh!
Yeah. So he
Really?
He builds all these tree houses.
Did he build your treehouse?
No, I want to have a treehouse someday, but I do not have that kind of money. Anyways, he came out to the Home and Garden Show one time at Bartle Hall downtown, and I listened to him give a speech on the importance of tree houses and building and sort of that group environment structure where you have the team and, I guess the emotional benefits of it and how it can better you as a person. And then afterward, he stayed and signed autographs, and I was like third in line. And granted, I was like,
Probably wasn't a long line.
yeah, it was huge. It probably
Really?
took 3 hours to get through.
And you were third.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like 6 or 7 at the time, though. I only knew him from watching the show, and I was just so awestruck. And he was like, bent over, shook my hand, very firm grip he had. He was like, hello, young man, do you build tree houses? And me,
Yes.
in all of my second grade self, said, no.
No.
And that's all I've ever said to Pete Nelson. He gave me an autograph, and I went away. But I did actually have a conversation with his wife, Tori, who also...
I was playing the moves on Tori.
I got a real Casanova going on here. But no, she showed me pictures of their dogs on her phone.
Are they cute?
Yeah, they were pretty cute.
Nice.
And then about a year later, we actually went to Treehouse Point, which is where they operate a bed and breakfast. Like,
So I met him again.
no, he wasn't there, but I saw Tori again, and I actually met his daughters that time.
You know this dude's whole family.
I know practically his whole family, but I just need to be reintroduced to him.
Nice.
I still have his autograph though. I have his autograph, and I have the picture of me shaking his hand.
So I have Charlie Day's autograph. I have the guitarist from the band, the Fever 333.
Oh, dude, you like the Fever too?
Yeah, I've met Steve.
For real?
Yeah, I had a photo with
I was an early supporter of the Fever. I
I
remember
was
when
too, actually.
I remember when the Maiden America EP first came
Uh-huh.
out. I was like, this is like nothing I've ever heard of. This is like metal and rap. I was like, this is the second coming of like Rage Against the Machine
Yes.
or something.
Yeah,
That
he
was
gave me a
awesome.
guitar pick. He was a pretty cool dude. If you've ever heard of Barnes Courtney, he's big in
Oh yeah,
Britain.
yeah, I know.
I've given Barnes Courtney a piggyback ride.
Dude, really?
I also have his autograph.
Where do you get all these opportunities to interact with these famous people, man?
Oh.
What do you do?
I'm goofy. I have who else? I have the Brendan Urie's autograph, but I didn't meet him. My friend got it for me when he met him.
Yeah. Like when they came to Kansas City.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I was at that show and I felt like out of my element because here I am, and by this point I was a bit older, right? I was closer to the age I am now, and I was huge in like Panic at the Disco in like 6th grade. And they announced the concert here like 2 years in advance, so I bought the tickets when I was a huge fan. And then by the time the concert actually rolled around, I was, still kind of a fan. Like I appreciated their stuff, but I wasn't really, really huge into them. But I'm like, I'll go for old time's sake, right? So go to my section, and I'm like the only guy here, right? I'm like just surrounded by teenage females, and then the lights go down, and he comes up, and he's got no shirt on, and everybody's going crazy, and I'm just like, like if somebody ever saw a Beatles show back in like the 60s at their height, whenever everybody was just screaming and you couldn't even hear the music, I felt like that was me, right? And then so I'm suddenly looking around, and I'm looking around, and I'm looking around, and then I see a dude like 2 sections over, and he's also like looking super scared. And I'm like looking at him, and we're like sending like SOS signals to each other. Like, don't get me wrong, great show, music sounded awesome and whatnot, but whew, that was out of my element, man.
Yeah, I bet. Concerts are great. When I saw Papa Roach and Asking Alexandria, I didn't realize it was the lead singer of Asking Alexandria. Danny Worsnop, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was Danny. He was like 7 feet away from me at one point because he was walking, I think, to go to the stage, and I didn't see. Like I saw this dude wearing a suit, and I'm like, it's like 80 degrees out. Why is there a dude wearing a full-on?
How did you not connect 2 and 2 together, Tom?
I did it because I wasn't paying attention, and then I'm like, I'm about to get in the mosh pit, and I look up and I go, oh. Also the same thing has happened to me a couple times, like where I've like heard or noticed the celebrity and not realized it was them. The guitarist from In This Moment,
Oh yeah.
same thing happened where like he walked right by me,
Man.
and I didn't realize it was him, and I was like, oh, that dude looks funny, and then I'm like, ah! And then Fritz from 98.9 The Rock.
Oh, really?
I heard his voice, and I'm like, sounds so familiar. Where is he at? Who is it? Who is it? I know it's somebody I know. And I didn't realize. It was his birthday at that concert. That was the same concert I saw the guitarist from In This Moment. That was also my mom's birthday, too.
Dude,
It was the first concert I
that's
really
so
went
much
to.
going on, and so many missed opportunities right
Yeah,
now.
I like when if someone goes to a concert with me, they have a fun time because they end up finding out some. I can connive a way to usually somehow like find a fun situation.
Kind of fun situation.
Yeah.
AKA meet the musicians.
I'm gonna try to go to the Grade A tour, and my goal is to meet Chief Keef or Ruby.
Really.
And if I do that, I'm going to like laugh and cry.
And for those of you who aren't quite educated on this topic, the Grade A Tour is a concert tour that's coming out to be Azura Amphitheater in Bonner Springs, and the lineup is Suicide Boys, Turnstile, Chief Keef, and a few other rappers.
Young Gravy's there for
Young
some
Gravy
reason.
also. What?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's like having, you know,
It's like a bunch of hard rappers.
serious clown.
I know. I'm gonna end up meeting Young Gravy if I met anybody.
That's so crazy.
Befriend Young Gravy.
And you know, speaking of music, very big album drop just happened.
You know, it's topping all of the Christian gospel charts right now.
And
Top 23 belong to a Mr. West. Ye West.
Ye West.
Kanye.
And the album is Donda, a tribute to his late mother, Donda West, who died in 2007, I believe.
She died in 2007?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the album. It's
It
just
took so many years to do this?
yeah. I mean, you remember this album from the time it was revealed to the time of release was 461 days, dude. That's over a year.
Yeah, but she died in 2007.
Art
I
takes
was
time.
like,
Art takes time,
in
dude.
2007.
In 2007, I couldn't even remember. I think I was 2, man. I was 2.
I wasn't too, but I was 3.
But yeah, so give me your thoughts on Donda. I mean, you listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, Donda was cool. Definitely supporting a Donda chant. I'm not very, how do I put this, Christian oriented, I guess, in my passage of life.
I mean, me neither. But you know,
But I definitely felt the words of God touch my soul.
yeah, I really felt a sort of spiritual experience happening to me as I listened to this album while I mowed the lawn on a 90-degree day.
You also mowed the lawn when you listened to Donda?
you did too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how
mowing the
everyone
lawn.
listened to Donda.
Mowing the lawn gives me a lot of time to dig into some great albums that I just don't have time for otherwise, because it's like an hour of just time to kill.
I have nothing else to do. Let's listen to Donda chants. Why not?
You know, fun fact about the Donda chant. It's actually,
58 heartbeats.
that was her age when she died,
Yeah.
to the tune of her final heartbeats.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
I can't do it. I've only listened to Donda once.
I haven't memorized the Donda chant yet.
One day we'll remember as the whole Donda chant. Anything else come out of music cool recently?
Iron Maiden actually released a new album too.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they retired.
Nah, dude, Iron Maiden's still kicking it, man. Even on the old school circuit. I mean, Bruce Dickinson's voice is still so strong, and they really got that 3 guitar attack.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's called Senjutsu, and it's inspired by like Japanese folklore.
Album we really don't need to talk about is Certified Lover Boy. We are not Drake. We are not
Horrible.
We're not Drake fans here.
And you know, after Certified Lover Boy released, you know, Drake and Kanye actually been beefing a little bit.
You know they have, and it's all a different dude's fault. Like,
And Drake was like, I'm gonna leak a Kanye song, ha ha ha. And the song he leaked was a diss track on himself that actually turned out to be really good. Andre 3000 was on this song. Andre 3000 was on this song. And then this one song that he leaked ended up being better than like his whole album. It was wild.
It really wouldn't have been that hard to beat Loverboy at all.
No.
Who else? Good old, Greta Van Fleet released an album.
Oh, Greta Van Fleet. Another band that I got into right around the time when they were starting. I can pride myself on the fact that I was a Greta Van Fleet fan from the first EP.
You know, I say I'm not because I truly just believe they're posers as they form
Posers.
like. I believe they're just trying to reattribute like old Led Zeppelin and like music like that just for old people.
Dude,
to
you gotta
follow.
listen to the new album that they put out, Battle at Garden's Gate. Their second work, I think they grew definitely a lot. It reminds me less of Led Zeppelin and more like Fleetwood Mac and Rush.
At the same time?
They really have the long, complex song structures of Rush, but on the chorus they have those Fleetwood Mac-esque melodies.
Nice, I can get down with that. Also, apparently back in February, Foo Fighters released a new album.
I saw Foo Fighters live just about a month ago.
Nice.
Yeah, and I always love when Foo Fighters come to town. They have to troll the good old Westboro Baptist Church, because the Westboro Baptist Church thinks that the Foo Fighters are preaching the devil. And so Dave's like, you know what, that's a little bit funny.
That's exactly what they're doing. The Foo Fighters are preaching Satan.
And what they did the first time around was that they rickrolled the Westboro Baptist Church. And this time what they did, they were out there and the church was like picketing, like, you're evil for listening to this stuff. And Dave and co come out on a flatbed truck, all white, and they're playing You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees. And then he's like, you know what, guys, I got to tell you something. I love everybody. Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? I think we all should be dancing. And then they're all dancing and playing Bee Gees songs to troll these people, and they're having like none of it. And one of the ladies starts like tapping her foot, and then Dave just like seizes on that. It was awesome.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
What are you looking up, Steve?
We're not talking about that.
What are you looking up?
Steve. I'm looking up Donda stuff.
Actually, Homecoming's coming up.
No, you're right.
Yeah, October 16th. That's a little over a month away. Got any special plans? For
No,
Homecoming,
not at
Steve?
all.
Not at all. Brayden,
No,
how about
this
you?
is-
No.
Research that has to be done in the meantime.
Research that
before I
has to be
decide
done
anything.
in the meantime.
What
All
kind
right.
of research, Steve?
Steve, you gonna tell us? You gonna tell us? All right, maybe we'll get it out
We'll
of him.
find out a different day.
We might get it out of him next time.
No,
see
you
if
won't.
see if his pursuits are.
I shoot my shot once
see
every.
if his pursuits are noble.
I shoot my shot once every 3 months. You better appreciate the 3-pointer when it comes your way.
Oh yeah. So, you good at 3-pointers?
No, I suck at basketball and analogies.
You're not like Jordan.
I'm more like Kobe in the end. Sink my whole career on accident. We might have to cut that out. That might be too offensive to somebody.
Oh, man, that's horrible.
That
That was horrible. But you know what, man? I'm sure you got it. I'm sure you got this.
Yeah, definitely.
You got
I'll
We're here for you.
yeah.
And if you know what, if we all get rejected to homecoming, we can just go stag. All three of us.
I'm probably gonna work in the end.
You gonna work?
That's not the goal, but if I don't have a day, I'm either gonna go. I might go. If I have the day off, I'll go.
It's
But
a
if I don't-
Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Yeah, it's
I
a
usually
Saturday.
work Saturday. What day is it again?
October 16th.
I'm requesting a lot of days off in October already.
Oh yeah.
Right at tour,
Uh-huh.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe who knows? We'll find out.
Maybe who knows?
We'll
We'll find out. And speaking of finding out, stay tuned for next time on the Ship of Fools podcast when we run down some more localized topics and we talk about the true experimental prototype city of tomorrow, Tolosa, in the desert.
Yes,
Definitely not something you're going to want to miss.
And we talk about the new Whataburger coming to Kansas City.
What a burger. What a burger. I don't know if you've ever been to Texas. That is fire, man.
No, I have not. We're going to talk about what happened a couple weeks ago when the next episode airs. Santa Calgon, an event that I personally hold dearly. I don't know about you two.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you live in Independence and you don't hold Santa Calgon dear, what are you doing, man?
And then finally, I'll go on a tyrant about existential nihilism.
The word Steven is looking for is tangent. You said tyrant.
I meant tyrant.
Tyrant.
Okay.
You know what? You're just going to have to stay tuned to find out what he means. So,
I don't even know what I mean.
from Brayden and Steven and I, this is the Ship of Fools signing off.
Adios.